Okay, so this too is not a spiritual themed video, but since I'm saying I'm making videos just for my daily life too, there's other aspects to my life too. This one is going to be about Tinder. Tinder sucks. Tinder really does suck. And in a way, most of the dating apps suck, and I'm just going to kind of rant to you guys about it. So, um, I don't know, as a woman trying to find a man, what it is about men, but they always take really bad pictures. They'll take pictures like up their nose. Um, they'll take pictures where they're making the strangest and ugliest faces. It's like if you're trying to attract someone, you would think you would want to put your best foot forward. You know, because if they're doing a really ugly photo, you're like, well, if that's the best they can offer, I'm just gonna swipe no. Um, and I swipe no probably on most guys. In fact, I think I've gone to the end of Tinder, and then for a few days it was like, oh, there's no one left. And then it kind of cycled me back again to the beginning of the list, and it's like pretty much the same people over again. Um, I didn't like them the first time. I didn't like them the second time. Um, so this is more so a rant directed towards the male users, but if you want to attract women, maybe put some photos that look appealing. Take some time to take a good photo. In Tinder, it's a very photo-based thing, so just be realistic and take a good photo. Make sure you're wearing something that represents you. Do you want what represents you to be a tattered old shirt in bad lighting, or do you want people to actually see your face? I find a lot of guys tend to also have a sad face. Not like they're making a sad face, but they just look depressed. And I'm not looking to date a depressed guy, so I'll swipe no. I'd rather the guy be lively and standing in his own power versus someone who's depressed, because then they'll just bring you down. Yeah, so I mean those are problems with the users, but other problems with Tinder in general. Like I wish there was more filters. Like I absolutely never ever want to date a smoker, but it keeps sending me smokers. So I would like to just not even show those people my feed. For me, everyone can make their own decision. I don't want to date someone who has kids already. For me, I imagine it means that they're going to be involved with the other woman still in their life. And then I might have to be potentially a mom to someone else's kid, but not ever have final say because I'm not their mom. It just seems too complicated to me. So I want my own kids. So when it comes to dating, I don't want to date people with kids. I'd like a filter to filter out people who already have kids. Yeah. So it would be nice if there's filters on there that we're actually stuck to. Even the age filters are blurry. Like, I personally don't want to date a guy younger than me. It's already difficult enough finding a guy who's on the ball and kind of mature and responsible at my age or a year too older. So when Tinder shows me guys that are younger, it's just like the opposite direction. I just imagine them being more irresponsible and less wanting, less being a match for me. So it would be nice if the age filters were less fuzzy, or if you could opt out of the fuzzy age matching in your filtering. I did try Tinder, what was it, like Gold or whatever that premium service was, and it didn't help anything. All, all I did was just show you who liked you, and it was already people who you disliked, so it wasn't very helpful. Sometimes I'll match with people, and it ends up that they're some sort of like a personal trainer, or they're selling some sort of service, and like, I didn't go on Tinder to find a personal trainer. If I wanted to find a personal trainer, I would have Google searched for that. So there's a lot of salespeople in Tinder. Tinder does seem to have some sort of race factored into their algorithm. I liked a Chinese looking guy, and then all of a sudden it started sending me a lot of Chinese looking guys in my filtering, which I guess it makes sense, but it just kind of was just a little annoying that it was just like you could just see the bias in it. But yeah, even when I meet with or match with the people, sometimes I'll talk with people. They'll immediately disconnect, or I'll talk with people. They're like, "Hey, how are you? What's your job?" Just one or two very basic sentences, nothing that should have been offensive, and then they'll disconnect with you or be gone. Like their profile's deleted. I'm not really sure what happened, but it's just confusing. Sometimes I'll have people connect and have a few more sentences with them, and then I'll want to talk to them. I've seen plenty of catfish shows, so I'd like to hear their voice, before too much time goes along, so we might be talking and having a casual, like, low-key conversation. I'll be like, okay, cool. Do you want to talk on the phone sometime, or do you want to talk on Telegram sometime? Just so there could be easier communications and I could know you're legit, and then they'll not want to talk, so I guess that means they're a catfish. The wind blew over my trash can outside. So I can't tell if Tinder even has real people at this point. And when it does show me people, yeah, I mean, it's just not what I want. Like, again, it often shows me smokers, and I just don't want to match with a smoker. It's a different lifestyle, and it's not something I want in my life, so. I mean, I've even tried to find other dating pools, because I feel like there's just a small, even though Tinder has the biggest range of people, it's a very small pool of people still. It's a fixed pool of people. I tried Field, which is a non-traditional app, but I just don't see anything I like in there. I've tried, what is it, Vegly, whatever that was, the vegan dating app, and it's just like, I don't know, 10 people, and they don't look interesting, and they don't meet my criteria of no kids yet, or, it's just like, so I kind of think trying to find someone through an app is kind of useless. I even deleted Tinder for, was probably like 11 or 10 months, something. I had it installed around January, and then I tried it again, I don't know, last month or something. But it just doesn't get you anywhere, which is frustrating, because even with those filters, it seems like it would be useful. It seems like it could be useful in theory, because when you go to anywhere in public, say you go into a bar, you don't know people who are seeking to go on a date. You don't know whether they have kids or not. So I mean, the good part about Tinder is at least people can tell you some of the core things about them to get you interested, but some people don't write anything at all in their just profile descriptions anyways, so it just kind of leaves you confused. And I mean, I wouldn't mind just going on a casual date. I would like something long term, but I mean, just getting the ball rolling on something would be nice. I can't get anything from Tinder. It's just so frustrating. So, I don't know. Do you guys find Tinder useful? Have you met real people on there? Do they match their descriptions? I did almost meet someone, like, I was talking to them, and then I started talking to them on Telegram. No, it was on just an SMS text. It was just text messaging. They didn't have Telegram. And they agreed to go meet me They said they were in a certain part of town. I said I was here, so I found like a park that was kind of in between us. It seemed like a neutral zone. They didn't answer. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna be driving over there in like 20 minutes. Okay, I'm getting in my car. And then once I was there and it was time to meeting, they were like, oh, I'm not gonna make it. So I'm pretty sure they were a catfish though, because I don't know, like a month after that, I saw their number pop up on Telegram, because on Telegram, when there's a new user that's on your address book, it'll be like, oh, so-and-so has joined Telegram. When that happened, that person that just like bailed on me, they showed up, but their picture was a female. So then I was like, well, I guess that's why they didn't show up. I mean, that makes sense, because you can't really hide that, once you're in person. So, I mean, I guess it was good to try to get to meet them early on, because you don't want anything dragging on and getting emotionally invested. You're just going to see that they're real at some point. Yeah, and I guess another thing that I don't like, that I would probably like filtered out of Tinder in your preferences, is like when people are ethical non-monogamous or polyamorous. Like, I know there's people that want that. I don't want that. For me, I've been in a friendship, where, I thought I had a chance, and then there was other girls, and I kept waiting for the people to be ready, and I'd rather just have a situation where there's more focused commitment and less competition. I don't want to be like a back burner kind of backup plan. I don't want to be wasting my time being juggled. Even when on field, I became friends with someone, like legit friends. I met them, they were real, they showed up in a very big surprise. They looked like their picture, good, right? We were talking for a while, and I was interested in the guy. Even though, I mean, there's some things that I didn't like about him. Like, I mean, to me, I don't want to date a guy that lives with his mom, but, I mean, I guess I was willing to look past that, because there's so few fish in the sea, it seems. But one time I was talking to him a few weeks in, and then he texted me asking how my nap was going, and I was like, I'm not taking a nap, I just mowed the lawn and took a bath. You must be talking to your other girlfriend, haha. And then it turns out he did have a girlfriend. He did. He then, like, was confessing, oh, you're going to be mad at me, you're going to hate me. And I was like, just tell me the truth. I'd rather know the truth than anything else. If you have a girlfriend, I'd rather know. And so it turns out, like, again, all this, my life was being dependent upon this girl being not available to this guy, because when she was in a bad mood or when she was busy, then he would have time to talk to me, which is exactly what I didn't want. So, yeah, I mean, it turned out he had a girlfriend, and I was like, well, I mean, we could still be friends, but that's it. I'm not going to, waste my heart on something that's not going to go anywhere. I don't want to be in competition for a time and attention like that. And even, in fact, I don't even think that guy necessarily wants to be poly, because he seemed really devastated when his girlfriend was sleeping with another man. He seemed really like he couldn't handle it. And to me, I was thinking, like, why would you put yourself through that? It seems like a lot of unnecessary pain and suffering. But I guess seeing that happen to him just fortified to me, like, poly doesn't make sense for my life choices. I don't want to have to be dependent on someone else's schedule for me to get attention. That's certainly not something I want. I want to be freely available to the person because they freely want to be with me. So, I mean, I guess it's partly a rant on Tinder and partly a rant on modern dating. I could even understand casual dating where you're not wanting to commit to people for some time, before it gets too serious. But at some point, I would want exclusivity and commitment. At some point, I don't want to always be in limbo. Um, I don't always want to be like, well, they can't talk to me until that girl, is busy, and then the guy has time for me. Then that doesn't sound like I'm very important. That's not what I want. Um, yeah. So, I mean, no conversation I've had from Tinder has resulted in any long-term relationship. I mean, I have met a guy from Tinder, had some fun for a few times. Why not? I've talked to a few guys, um, I guess on Telegram, like, through Tinder. I got their little name or whatever. Um, the conversation doesn't carry on very long. And then, again, for some reason, Tinder keeps showing me Chinese guys. Um, I could barely understand the guy, so I mean, I was willing to talk to him, but if I can't understand what they're saying, that's not going to be very easy for anything. Yeah, I don't see much value in Tinder. Um, and then like it'll also show you useless results like, oh, someone from 800 miles away. I mean, that's not going to be any use for me. I'm not going to have a long-term relationship. That's just a waste of time. I'm looking for a real in-person relationship. If I wanted an online relationship, I just freaking go to Reddit or something, or find someone in a video game to talk to. Um, I chose Tinder so I could have a filtered result to my area. It just wastes my time. Um, okay, well, I guess that's it for my Tinder rant. I don't know what else I could say. Bye.